Honestly, I'm really just contemplating whether I just want to just sit in silence because I'm so lazy and I don't feel like connecting all the songs and music and stuff. I'm genuinely just considering just sitting in silence because I don't want to deal with it. No, I'm serious. I'm hella like I'm tired, but I want to play. So like I don't know. I kind of want to just sit here because I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, I bought like a shit ton of these things just so I can put all my wires together. And no, it is not better because putting this shit in between stuff is actually way harder than you think it is. You know, honestly, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, I don't know if it's like racism or if she's just like a crackhead. Like, I don't know what the fuck she wants. I don't really care. But I mean, so far everybody that I have met that has done that is or has used drugs in the past. So, I mean, personally, I don't really think it matters, you know? Like, well, if you think about it, like, if it does not exist, then, like, what about prostitution, you know? Because, like, prostitution has to exist, like, one way or another, because it's like, if every single person. Okay, so I've noticed in Europe, because their culture is so, like, empowering for women, they tend to not want to be as, like, you know how like in America the stereotype is to no, this is just what I've noticed between like European women, at least in community colleges and stuff. European women that move here, like they want to marry a rich guy because I guess they have too much influence or whatever in like Europe that like I guess they don't really want to work anymore, you know, because they have so much freedom to like yeah, so much independence, thank you. So then like I've noticed like because American women cannot get that, you know, sometimes they tend to be like, hold on, they tend to want to work harder just because they don't have it. Thank you. So it's like European women work less or work. Hold on. If I don't get this, I'm not going to have any mana. Alright, so I've noticed a lot of times European women don't want like you know how like a lot of American women thank you are like entrepreneurs and they want to be like CEOs or like in positions of power, you know, and then there's like so many European women that like because thank you because they're raised in that culture they just don't really want it. They rather have like just like marry rich, you know, like I don't know, I feel like it's really backwards because it's like the more the culture pushes them to be independent the more they want to be dependent, you know what I mean, thank you. So like I don't know I don't know if you guys have because I've noticed like a lot of times like at least the European women that I have met in America, like the European women that I have met in America, they don't, it's like they're here to marry rich guys and like everybody's talking about how like European women have like very high positions of power and how America needs to catch up on that because America rarely has any women in positions of powers and like we need a yeah, and there's thank you. And like in European culture there's a lot more like equality between the genders cuz a lot of the dating beyond the border stuff, a lot of that was like Norwegian and Finnish women, they don't like first of all, they hate small talk. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of European women that come here enjoy small talk. So it's like the opposite, you know? It's like all the American women hate small talk because that's all people ever fucking do to the point where a lot of American women just don't like it. And then there's like a bunch of European women who never have small talk and they want to have small talk, you know? So like everything's like completely fucking different. And like I'm not saying like all European women is like this. I'm just saying the European women that I have met from community colleges, like that's just the kind of energy they give me, you know? Yeah, the stuff that I see on Instagram is probably not any better than what I just said. Like, I feel like a lot of European women on Instagram are like, they're actually, I maybe that's why I like the European women on Instagram more, because like it seems like all the European women influencers on Instagram that I've seen, like the Australian ones, it seems like their careers are bigger than their husbands, or like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, they can be working in the background, but in all honesty, if you didn't understand the working in the background aspect, like, it would actually kind of seem like the women are working harder and doing more for the men than the men are doing for them. You know, like, I understand, like, yes, there's a lot going on in the background, but in reality, like, if you didn't know all that, you know, thank you, like, it really does seem like the European women are working harder than the men, you know, because they do so much on the social media that you're just like, are these men even doing anything for these women? Like, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, it, you know. But there are, like, I think, because, thank you, because the successful women are on social media, that like there's like a ton of other women that are European that are like, oh, I hate how these women like set the standards so high for us, and I'm just like, and then that's kind of why I like support Nazis, because I'm kind of like, you know, if someone was Nazi or white supremacist, technically, as a woman, we would not have to deal with these women in workforces because they're Nazis. So technically, they would want to stay home, because that's kind of the stereotype and white supremacist ideology, right? The white supremacist ideology and misogyny and all of that, like, their ideology and their philosophy behind women is to stay in the kitchen and make babies. You know what I mean? Their job is never to interfere with whatever the men are doing, and if it's like we're working with the men, then like they should be at home. So like, from a feminist perspective, like, it's very very beneficial to support like misogyny and like all these people, because it's kind of like, as long as they are not misogynistic towards us, then like I think their misogynistic views actually benefit us, you know, because then they'll keep these women at home, which is better than having them like in the same work environment as us, in my opinion. You know, like, I would much rather have this Nazi white supremacist misogynistic guy keep this bitch at home. You know what I mean? And it's really easy to take care of these guys in a work environment, because it's kind of like, dude, you're fucking being sexist and everybody's just kind of like shits on you. So it's not really like it's a big fucking problem, you know? I just discovered Bang energy goes good with vodka and coffee. Do I like cocaine? No, I don't. Like, I think that's another thing about like cocaine, is if you have ADHD, I feel like meth and cocaine just don't really work on you. You know what I mean? Like, no, 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 and that's also, thank you for another reason why I kind of like Europeans more, because you know how like since their health insurance is free, I feel like European women tend to like have kids under drugs. You know, like, so they'll be like doing coke and like all that shit, and then they'll have their kids, and then like, because the health insurance is so well, like, you know what I mean, because I've noticed people with like universal healthcare, they tend to have kids under like constant drug use and all of that stuff way more than in America, you know, because Americans are like, oh man, you know, health insurance is so expensive, I don't want to have a crack baby and stuff like that, you know. But then in Europe, I feel like they tend to have kids more under the influence, just because they don't really have to pay any consequences of it, you know, because the insurance is free. Just like, by the way, you know. So that's why I'm like, I don't really understand like the fascination of moving to Europe when like, well, like, for me, I like Europe because I feel like the men are less misogynistic and like actually treat women more equally, just because of their history, I guess. I don't know. But, or maybe it's just the culture. You're right. Maybe it is the culture. Well, I don't think Swedish people get high off caffeine if they drink it on a normal basis. You know, like I think they feel way more normal than us when we try to drink caffeine. You know, like I'm pretty sure people in America they get like super high off the caffeine just because they're not like Swedish or whatever, but I feel like Swedish people are kind of like pretty normal on caffeine compared to like Americans. I don't know. I just don't think they get as like, you know, as but anyways, that's just my opinion. I don't know how true that is. Well, I know each European country is very different. Like if you compare the Greek system, like if you compare Greece to like Britain, like people in Greece don't really know what the fuck they're doing, and most of them I feel like are very corrupt and very selfish in comparison to like people in Britain who have obviously created Brexit and other great ideas and like, you know, so I think it's very very different every single European country. Like yes, they can all speak English, but I don't think that's really how you decide what type of person they are. But that's just my opinion. Unlike I'm pretty sure I think America did get a lot of shit because Europe was taking in so much immigrants. Remember? Yeah, I do. I personally do remember a lot of articles being written about how Europe was taking in like boatloads of fucking immigrants and they were just taking them all in, you know? And then I think a lot of people on social media and stuff, they were all like, dude, like, what the fuck is America doing? Detaining kids and they're like saving kids from the boatload? Like, what the fuck? I think a lot of people were like, dude. So that's why my view of Europe has always been pretty high because it's like you guys always come up with like policies and stuff and like I think the whole like police cannot carry part, I think that kind of was like a really good idea. No, I think that's still like more of a culture thing, you know? Like I don't know, I feel like the culture in like Switzerland and like the carry gun carry stuff has a lot more to do with your culture than the policy, you know? Like yeah, that's kind of why I was like, I don't know. No, no, no. It's the thing that I was talking about, right? I said a lot of European women don't want to have so many responsibilities because they, you know, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's not FOMO. It's more of I don't know if you guys watch Madison, like Madison Wally, but like, you know how her parents were like, yeah, you know, she's straight A's, you know, all of this, and for some reason she wants to be a fucking influencer. Like, I think that's just what it is. I don't think there's anything else besides that. So no, that's why like when they were talking about like feminism and like domestic violence, that I was like, okay, well that's just too fucked to like not support. Like that shit is so fucked up. They're like, yeah, my mom was in a violent marriage and like couldn't get out, and that's why I became a feminist because I didn't like growing up with like domestic violence or something like that. I don't remember what she said. Well, that's actually why I like Europe because I've noticed like European divorce is not like America where like oh because the guy is usually the breadwinner, so usually the guy will always win the like, you know, for all you know it could have been the woman. So that's what I really like about Europe is it's not super fair, but they won't just be like, "Oh, because you're a woman, like it must be all the guys' money," you know? Like people actually consider like, you know, the men might not be the one with all the money. So, I think the legal prostitution part is does help, but I think it's also your culture, you know? Like I feel like because your culture is so open to prostitution and like strippers that like it doesn't really affect you guys that much. You know what I mean? Like to and I think no that I think that's why the policy works. Thank you. Because like over here it's like strip clubs and all that are like frowned upon kind of in comparison, and like a lot of times they don't want people to have as many rights as like, you know. But that's also why I was talking about the price, thank you, because I was like, you know, because of this cultural acceptance and because of these policies, like they don't earn as much revenue, they don't earn as much profit, you know, because it's so open. But yes, I do agree because of universal health insurance that like they do not have to worry about as much, so whether or not they have more income, it won't matter. So that part I do fully agree with. No, I really genuinely think that the policies only go so far because of the culture. You know what I mean? Like, I think the culture changes a lot of things, not just the policy. Well, I mean, I really like social media because it really brings out people's like differences and cultures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, say we can read like all we want about like the current news and stuff, right? But in reality, like, do we really understand it? No. Are we really living in it? No. But because we can see it on social media and because we can watch it on YouTube, because we can, like, you know, the world news actually makes sense. You know, like, if they're like, oh, yeah, you know, like, why did the French Revolution happen? And then, like, we're all over here working at a restaurant, like, and then all the people who are, like, super fucking, like, you know, super fucking fucked up are all, like, British or like whatever. Like it's like, oh, okay, well, now we get why like they're saying these things, and then we have social media and the media, and it's just, you know. I'm just saying, you know, like I don't think I think without social media, they can kind of take advantage of that situation. But now that there is social media and like everything, it kind of becomes like more of like, yeah. What? Coming! Dude, I was watching Criminal Minds last night, and oh my god, I couldn't sleep in my bed. Because you know how, like, when you do stuff in your bed and you don't just sleep, then you get, like, super awake or whatever when you actually need to sleep? I don't know how to say it, but okay. I know, I'm coming! I don't play enough League to actually know if it fucking matters. I haven't been playing a lot as much, so, like, honestly, I'm not even sure anymore. But, no, because if I say it and it's super unbalanced, then it's kind of more of me, like, abusing the game than, like, actually helping. Because I think the whole reason why people started abusing certain situations, oh my gosh, the mana buff. Um, did Cog just die? What'd you do, man? Why you do that? But, I know I'm coming! But yeah, I don't know. No, this is, well, okay, so here's the thing I think people need to understand. Like, just because you're not a political science major does not mean you do not have other interests in your life, you know? Like, you can be a political science major who loves to read physics books. That doesn't mean, like, you know, the only thing I will ever be able to talk about is fucking political science. Like, I feel like most of the time, like, at least in my personal experience, I've noticed people who are very not studious, but like people who enjoy going to school, they never just enjoy one subject. I think they are always very like, okay, the neurosurgeon that I was kind of trying to date, he was very into music. So it wasn't like he was only like all about neuroscience. Like he needed his own relax time, and he needed to like make music or listen to good music or like talk about music or like have something to do with music, right? So when you guys are like, oh yeah, you know, you only have a college degree in one thing, I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, there's like they have different interests, you know, not everything's just one thing all the time. And like I just think it's kind of annoying that you guys are like, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this." I'm like, "Why are they not allowed to do this?" Like they need their like, you know. Anyways, that's just my main reason to say like Stanford has a problem protecting their intellectual students, because it's like when you're intellectual and you have like multiple interests in multiple things, like Stanford themselves, they do protect you academically and like student wise, you know. But when it comes to like protection from like harassment and abusive behavior from other students, they do not ever do anything about it. And I think that's the protection that I was talking about, because I'm not talking about, oh yeah, you know, Stanford doesn't implement any rules. Like that's kind of why I was defending the Swedish government, because I'm like, this reminds me a lot about like the academic atmosphere, where like the academic atmosphere and the rules and the policies are perfectly fine. Like they are perfect, everything about them is made perfectly good, like there's nothing wrong with them, right? But the fact is, it's not about the law. It's not about any of that stuff. It's like, at least for Stanford, that I have noticed is it has nothing to do with Stanford the school, which has nothing to do like with Swedish government, you know? It has more to do with the individuals that are like, they're not abusing the laws. They're kind of like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but I think it is able to be punished by the rules. It's just like, I don't think it's that they don't want to punish it. Okay, so like at least in a school atmosphere, right? Yeah, but then see, I think that's also kind of a problem that I have, because it's like, of course I hate the harassment, but at the same time, like if there was no problems, like shit will get kind of boring. Like that's just my own philosophy here of why like I'm okay with it. Because I'm like, you know, I can fix the situation to be perfect, but at the same time, like wouldn't that just make my life really boring? You know, like no, that's why I'm like, as long as they don't try to kill me, I'm not really worried. Yeah, but okay. So a thing about that is, you know, like when you threaten certain people, especially poor people, like they usually run out of choices. You know, they're like, oh, there's no more hope in life, and like I'm just fucking gonna give up. Like there's no hope. You know, no matter what I do, nothing's gonna work. You know, and then they become either very suicidal, like a lot of people in Europe, or they'll just fucking attack people. You know, they'll be like, you're the fucking problem, and then they'll attack you, and like, you know, so I don't really know what you guys want to do about that. Well, okay, you know how a lot of people were like, science silence is consent? Like, I'm not the one who came up with that. Okay? Those are the people who obviously feel like they have been wronged came up with that. Because they clearly feel very strongly about it. That they think if you don't say anything about it, then you're for it. Which is kind of why I always say something, because I'm like, well, clearly they think if you don't say anything, then you're supporting it, which may or may not be true, right? So, just for my own safety, and I mean, it's not like, oh my gosh, you really did it. It's not like it doesn't benefit me, because, well, okay. Well, actually, I think that's why some people get really mad at me sometimes. They're like, Christine, why are you so silent on this problem? I'm like, it really doesn't affect me. And then, and they're like, oh, you fucking rich bitch. But, sometimes, you know, I just have to really think and be like, you know, no, because sometimes it is also equally as abusive. Because you know how, like, when you're really abusive towards other people, they become equally as abusive as you are? And, like, you really technically have no one to blame but yourself for creating that problem in the first place. You know? Because it's like, oh, why is this fucking, like, black guy acting like a fucking white girl or whatever, you know? And it's like, well, didn't you create this problem? Like, what, like, what are you complaining about? I don't understand. Honestly, I really genuinely thought with a cog that we were all gonna fucking die. And I don't know how the fuck we are winning this game, but I feel super boosted. Either I'm super boosted or I'm actually doing good, and I'm pretty sure I'm boosted. So I don't actually think I'm doing that good. Um, but yeah. No, this has like no scientific background to it. Like this is just purely like my personal point of view. Because if you really think about it, like all you really can do when you're not living in a certain country is to read the news, right? So like I know personally like China is very against anybody knowing anything about their country, and that's kind of why I feel sorry for a lot of European countries because I'm like people are always so fascinated with you guys and like you guys have no way of like turning them down. You know what I mean? People are always like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, that's good to a certain like point, but I don't think this is a good thing." But hey, that's how your country is. That's how your country is. I just don't think it's fucking a great idea, but what am I going to do? I'm not a politician. I don't give a shit. No, I still have a lot to learn from my elders, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know, there's still a lot of things that I clearly do not understand that my elders completely understand, and you know, that's all I can really say. I guess I don't know. I turt. What does that mean? You take shits? Oh man, if that T was a D. I turd. Plant food. I turd. Sorry. I don't know if that's what you're really going for, but dude, go in. If you don't go in, I'm gonna go in. Oh, you fucking. Anyways. Oh man. No, I heard him. He was like, yeah, but what if I've already done it? I'm like, you know, I wouldn't doubt it if he really did it already. So I'm like, oh, I can't even argue with this right now. It's not just facts. It's kind of like I hate when people tell me something that I clearly have said something about. You know, like if I'm like, hey, you know, I genuinely already understand, and they're like, no, no, there's no way you can understand. I'm like, motherfucker, dude, I swear to God. So that's why I didn't really want to do it back to him, what people always do to me. Oh yeah, about that. Anyways, I think this item got buffed too. Are we really chasing this? What are we even chasing with? You know, I hate this. I hate when my parent, like my elders, actually try to like teach me responsibility. I'm just like, honestly, I don't even care. Like, as long as we all agree collectively as a group, I cannot be legally held liable as my individual one person. Like, I'm down for whatever. Clearly. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I'm boosted because this is a lot of gold that I am very not used to having. Oh my gosh, I'm boosted. um, but I did catch it. I'm literally telling you I'm boosted. Like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like, oh my gosh, this is why I just listened to him and I was like, okay, I understand. You said you done it. Okay, and I didn't ask any questions. I didn't push it. I didn't question it. I was just like, okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Shit is so annoying when people do that shit. It looks like you're eating my ass, man. No, I'm pretty sure I'm fucking boosted. I was talking the whole time. I wasn't paying attention to shit I was fucking doing. There's no fucking way that I'm this fucking good. And talking. Like, there's just no fucking way. I don't believe it for 1 second. I'm insanely fed. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Technically, Orin is actually still doing pretty fucking good. Like, considering how, like, fucking 13, 2, and 9 he is, you know, technically, I swear, Orin is still doing pretty fucking good. Oh, because they were coming on base, so then I'll initiate the fight. But now we're going to their base, so I don't give a shit. I can't play anymore anyways. I'm not gonna be able to wake up tomorrow. Ooh, thank you. Sorry. No, I get mad at him no matter what. If he feeds, and I get mad. That's it. There's no, there's no amount of like feeding that I find acceptable. Like, it's all unacceptable. Dude, I have like no damage, man. Why would you even think I'm dependable all by myself? All by myself. Oh shit. Don't. I don't want to talk about my ult. I just know I'm boosted. Leave me alone. Alright, I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a short stream anyways. I just came on here just to say I'm here. Like, that's about it. Um, well, actually, Let's see if there is anything written. It's not that. I don't think anybody thinks it's a good idea for him to come if that was the reason why, because I think it's not gonna end very well for him because I'm not gonna be going anywhere. So yeah. Anyways, I like to read papers like this because there's a lot of information. See, this is the shit I like. I don't know if you guys understood that first sentence, but that shit was lit. What is Helsinki? Oh, is this a good... Oh, it's a good rank. Okay, so their ranking is really high in their own country, but it's kind of low in any other country. 96 is not good. Not the best, but whatever. Oh wait, I still haven't connected my fucking... Oh my gosh, I can't hear shit. I hate reading this because... Oh, I think I've watched this before. Um... I'm gonna watch this because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Oh man. I need to connect my freaking headphones. I wonder if this was the wolf. Searching. Oh my gosh. Here we go again. Nope. Not favorable. Searching. Ooh, found it. Thank you. In general, there are some important similarities that separate Europeans from Americans in terms of attitude and behavior. When it comes to looks, oh shit, I'm pretty both ways, huh? Really? Oh, actually, my dad really hates. Okay, so my grandma hates me wearing thongs. So does my mom, and so does pretty much anybody and everybody in my family. Like they hate me wearing thongs. Like they're like, "Why do you wear that shit?" So yeah, I'm actually pretty traditional. So yeah, I think I'm driving my family pretty fucking insane with my ears. My grandma's like, "Why do you torture yourself like this?" And then with tattoos, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Are you done yet?" Like, really? I like how fast he talks and clearly. Okay. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that I've said is more based on personal experience and what people have told me rather than like scientific studies. Does it? I need pictures. Well, I did want to become an economist. Forgot what the fuck I was gonna do, but I don't think that's important. I don't really need school to. Well, actually, I do need school just so I can learn the basic terms so I can communicate with people. But besides that, I have a lot of my own ideas. I just need to learn the right terms of how to communicate with other people. That's about it. Britain has more social mobility. Yeah, that would make sense. France, what is this? Italy has nothing. Where is America? Oh. Yeah, maybe that is why. Yeah, I've noticed people who are newly rich tend to have like this really disrespectful behavior towards others. I don't know. Personal opinion. That would actually make a lot of sense. Paul Kirby on Twitter? Fuck. Where'd it go? I don't understand this. So is this bad percentage of sons with low earning fathers and with top earning fathers who are in the riches? What are the chances of rising to the top 50%? Yeah. So wouldn't this doesn't make any fucking sense. Idiot. I think there's a difference between, or at least for us, because education is not free, right? I know Ireland is one. Oh. Jesus. How many schools are there? This is like as low as it fucking can get, dude. I'm sorry. Apologies. Didn't mean to react that way. So I'm used to being in like the top 10-ish. 10, like, you know, because if you Taida. 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 National Taiwan University. Okay. NTU? Oh. National Taiwan University ranking. Yeah, see, even on an international scale, like, we're pretty high up there. Oh, no. World Reputation Ranking. World University Ranking. World University Ranking. What is it? Harvard, duh. Oh yeah, Stanford and stuff is still... Is it though? Ooh, Australia and China for once? That's interesting. Economics and business. I would not be surprised because Australia is pretty ahead for the cryptocurrency and stuff. And so is China. I feel like Canada's pretty behind on a lot of things, actually. Not to sound fucked up or anything, but... Yeah, see, I don't want to go to any of these. Yes. Berkeley is actually a good fucking school? No fucking way. I feel like Berkeley is a really shitty school. Oh, that's because I live here. Oh my god. See, this is why I was saying, like, I do not want to raise my kids in Palo Alto because then they get so used to everything that they think, like, you know, like, when you get so rich to the point where, like, everything else is just normal to you, that, like, you have to move backwards because they're, like, the only people that are attacking you. So it's, like, that's why I would never raise my kid in Palo Alto. Like, you guys are all flocking to be here. I'm like, Jesus, I need to find another place where my kids will actually think Palo Alto is fun. Yeah, I think my idea is better, but do you, boo boo, do you? I actually want to go to Oxford. I feel like that would be fun. Or like London, UK. Oh, they're all in UK. Huh. So I did want to move to London for a good reason. Anyways, London is like the European New York, you know? Like New York, London, both have insane real estate prices. I didn't even know Asia had these top universities. Oh, I've heard about the Beijing one. I don't really know about these other ones. I think one of my classmates went to this school. Yay, Taiwan tier. Best global universities? Yeah, Cambridge? Really? Cambridge is that good? I didn't think UCLA was that good, to be honest. And University of San Francisco, I always thought it was a shitty school. I think, oh gosh, there was University of Toronto, and there's another one in Canada. Yeah. Oh, University of British Columbia. Yes, I had. I have a few friends that went there. I feel like, okay, so I personally think the University of British Columbia is super easy to get into, and that's probably why I don't have a lot of respect for them. But I do know the Australian universities are very expensive in terms of living. I think the school is not as expensive as the living cost. I think I think the living cost outweighs the education costs. Anyways, so yeah, I'm not really um well, so he's my grandpa, I guess. So my family doesn't really necessarily like celebrities because we know so much about it. So my family isn't that like, they want me to marry someone like my dad, who is like the director of Foxconn, and I'm just like, if they're not smarter than my dad, I really don't want to date him. And like, I tried testing, like, even the guy who had like a master's in engineering, electrical engineering at Stanford. I'm like, man, you're hella dumb. Like, my dad hella smarter than you. Like, I don't know if I want to date you just because you're from Stanford. You sound hella stupid. So, oh no, man. Do I kind of look like him? I feel like my grandma does, but I don't. Never mind. Maybe I do kind of look like him. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that's kind of my life. No, I think that's why I know how to handle this situation better than pretty much anybody, because I am raised in it, so I kind of know how to deal with it. But yeah, I think that's why I'm so respectful towards you guys, because I'm like, you know, ooh, pretty. Something like that. All my family are in like biotech chemistry, and I think my dad is more like a physicist or like whatever in, so something, I don't really know, like engineering something, I don't know. It's all in Chinese, and like sometimes the Chinese doesn't even have translations in English. So like, I feel like our family is more like an academic family, and that's why like I just naturally know like so many things. And I think that's what draws me to a lot of people in esports, because I feel like you guys are really, really smart. Like, you guys don't have the same academic background, but like, how the fuck do you know so much? This isn't like you have to answer. Like, this is a rhetorical question. This is just me asking myself, like, how are you so smart? Anyways, well, her dad is actually super poor. Like, I think they're like a farmer family. Like, we live in the city, and we're from the city, but I think her dad is like a farmer kid. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure my aunt had other really rich options, but she chose him. So, and it's not like, cuz farmers, they don't have as much criminal stuff as the city. So, my mom is kind of from the city cuz her family's in the city, so yeah. Anyways, um no, my mom and my dad like fell in love over comic books and video games. Like, genuinely. They would read comic books and play video games together. It's fucking disgusting, dude. It's gross. I don't even want to know how it was created. Anyways, what was I gonna search for? Oh yeah, Yumi. Thank you. Yeah, that could technically possibly be why. Like, I'm the way that I am because of the way that my family is, and maybe that is why I always question like who the fuck people are, because I'm just like, dude, how the fuck do you not know? And that's why I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you guys know? Like, do you guys have somebody in your family? And then I like, obviously I know how to test for it. Okay. I want the black cat. No, I want the Siamese cat. Yeah. I don't like that one. It's very uneven. Oh no, I like that one. Oh no. What do I do? Oh, they're all so cute. Oh no. It's pink and it's red. Oh, I gotta go with the pink. No, no, I gotta go. Oh. Oh no. What am I buying here? 26.90. But I don't get an icon. That's gay. Not a good gay. Very bad gay. Ooh, Pearl's still my favorite. Pearl and Rose Quartz. Everything else is a little bit weird. Ruby's fucking weird. Purchase RP 2690. What the fuck is that? 2690. $20? Eh. Not that bad. I mean, is it that bad? I don't know. Wow, you guys put a lot of effort into this one. That's so much effort, Jesus. Anyways. Dude, this is some fucking Digimon looking shit. No offense, but I feel like all the starter packs are getting better and better. And I still want that naked ass Sivir. True Damage Senna Prestige Edition. I don't care. I'm not even into LV. I think LV just has way too much prints and it fucking drives me insane. Do I like Gucci? No, I think Gucci's a really shitty brand. Like shitty Gucci, Fendi, there's another one. Dolce Gabbana, D&G. Okay, so Gucci, Fendi, these. Dolce and Gabbana? I don't know. I feel like these brands have always been super cheap. Like, all their patterns just are so ugly. Like, the only reason why I think Gucci, thank you, is even, like, relevant is because of their plain styles like this. All their fucking ugly ass. Fendi used to do this, I think, not just Gucci. Fendi would have this fucking green and just fucking ugly shit. Like, I hate D&G. Oh yeah, and Dior is fucking ugly as shit too. God, I fucking hate these brands. YSL has always been alright, in my opinion. Like, I've never seen... What the fuck was I talking about? Burberry, it was just always cashmere and peacoats. I like classy stuff like Prada. And my family always used Coach, because it's real leather. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of these brands, they don't really make me jealous. I just think they're disgusting. This has nothing to do... It actually has a lot to do with esports. Because you guys are like, oh, you don't like LV because it's expensive. No, it's ugly. That's why I don't like LV. It's not, like... Oh, I don't know. I hate these companies. They're so ugly. Oh. Yeah, they're so ugly, dude. They're so, like, fucking messy. No, messy is good. This is bad messy. Like, look at this. This is just way too much fucking designs on one bag. Why is there so much going on? Just like, yeah, there's no focus. And this fucking skin and this fucking design. Oh god, dude, it's a fucking mess. And all this is just disgusting. I hate this. And coordination. What the fuck is coordination? This is just like, you know how some people have very Victorian architecture and they just pile a bunch of shit into their house? Like, I hate that. Like, I hate stuff like this too. It's just so much fucking patterns. I'm just like, oh. I hate this too. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck have, like, oh my god. I genuinely hate Gucci. I like these bags because they're actually like one thing, you know? They have one logo and one pattern, not like a bunch of shit going on. Like stars and then Gucci and then, oh my god, dude. And then like stuff like this, like there's this and then there's this. Oh my goodness. I just hate it. Like this is a little bit too much because it shouldn't be a chain. It should just be like one like thing, you know? But no, we got like fucking 50 things going on here. Like, this is perfectly fine. It can be fucking simple as shit and then just have, like, fucking Gucci. See? Beautiful. Anyways, I'm fucking done. I'm done just fucking flaming everybody. I'm gonna go now. Thank you for coming to my stream and watching me get boosted for a good fucking 30 minutes and then watching me for another 30 minutes talking shit about literally everything. Okay. Thank you and goodbye.